Hi guys. So yesterday some of you may have seen that the new essences for Inferno 6 have been shared online from the new China test servers. Now some of these will be obviously changing because it is a test server, but we do have the Necro ones to have a look at today with a couple of videos. So as always, if you do like the content that I provide for the Necro community and Diablo Immortal as a general whole, you know, please like and subscribe to the channel. And if you want to further support me that a little bit more, then obviously do consider becoming a member. But let's just jump straight into it. So first of all, really, I want to show you the videos before we go through the rest of the essences that I've got as a list. Now, if I just bring up the media player that I've got down here linked. So this is going to be one of the first essences we've got, and it's looking rather fun. We're getting our own mount, guys. We are going to have a war beast that we can kind of mount up as, which uses the bone spike ability, and as you can see, it's looking pretty cool. I'm pretty hyped for this one. It does seem to be, if this video should replay on the loop, it does seem to be that when this person is casting, they're still mounted, so they're able to press abilities and not be dismounted. As you can see here, he's staying up, but he's pressing Dark Curse. Now, if that's the case and that stays that way, this will be amazing for overworld farming and potentially other things, a PvP build maybe, which would be rather fun, because this does include a knock up to enemies. Now, the other one that we're going to look at, which I also found, was this one. It's a very short clip on the loop again, but as you can see, it's absolutely insane. Bone spirits swirling around you, doing incredible amounts of damage. Now, that is just nuts. Now, I'm presuming this would be tested on a very high resonance character, and yeah, I don't know what else the essence is going to include, even from the write-ups that I've got. It doesn't say anything about applying a dot to the enemies. It doesn't say anything about kind of, you know, how fear is going to work when it comes to this dot, when it comes to this essence. There's so many questions that are kind of going around in my mind and with the Necro community. So, as we've now watched them two videos, obviously feel free to go back and kind of watch the clips if you want to see them again and have a bit of a more of a look at them yourselves. But I will now bring over the list of essences. Let's make this a bit bigger so we can all kind of see what we're going on here. So, we've got a new helm, which is going to be called Valhallow's Head. Now, this is Bone Spikes now grants you a mount, increasing your movement speed and making you immune to knockback effects. Your mount damages and knockbacks enemies as it moves through them. That just sounds incredible. So not only are you immune to knockback effects, your mount now damages and knocks back enemies. So that would be a loss of control, so that's going to increase our damage when it comes to PvE and PvP. Now, the offhand we've got coming is Death Gate. Now, Bone Spirits now draws essence from nearby enemies, conjuring a Bone Spirit for each enemy affected, where it rapidly orbits you. Damaging enemies it passes through. So basically, you know, all nearby enemies, you're going to conjure a spirit from them that are affected by this drain or this drawing essence. And them skulls effectively are going to rapidly orbit you, dealing damage as it passes through. It doesn't mention anything to do with a burn, a dot, how fear is going to work. So there's lots of questions when that comes to that particular offhand. The legs you're going to be wearing, the pants, they're called Corpse Draggers. Now, Dark Curse now unleashes a wave that damages all nearby enemies. It charges energy as you move that increases the damage of the wave. Now, I'm hoping with this that now it's obviously Dark Curse. We all know Dark Curse, when you press it, your character normally pauses for a second, which can be very annoying when it comes to farming builds. You want to just keep on moving. You don't want to have that pause in having to stop and press a button so it casts. You want to be able to cast on the move. I'm wondering if this would be that sort of thing. As we see he was mounted on that video and he was using Dark Curse. He didn't have to stop. He wasn't dismounted. So I'm presuming it's probably this one that he was using. And it sounds very, very interesting. It doesn't, again, say anything about a dot, like a burn or anything like that being applied. Now the chest piece, it says this is called Free on Pig Post. Now obviously these names, they may subject to change, you know, clearly. So Dark Curse again, it also pulls in enemies hit, but cannot occur more than once every 6 seconds to the same enemy. So this one's going to be drawing in enemies to you. I wonder then if you can link that with the wave, so that you're pulling in enemies, you're dealing this wave, massive damage. You're then linking that in possibly with the new mount, which is going to be doing insane amounts of damage as you're pulling them towards you, dealing these damages. It's just so many options here. Now, shoulders called Spare Ribs. Bone Spikes shatters enemy armor, increasing the damage they take by 4% for 3 seconds, up to a maximum of 12%. This sounds absolutely crazy. A piece of gear that we've now got another armor break on. That's mad. That is absolutely mad. Up to a maximum of 12%. If you link that with the helm, that's going to be, yeah, that would be crazy. You got a mount that's now going to provide tons of damage, as well as a shoulders that can then increase the amount of damage they take by providing an armor break. I've got to do some workings out when it comes to what kind of builds we can make. I think from what I can kind of just going on in my head at the moment, we possibly have got like 2, maybe 3 new builds that we can do when it comes to the new essences, mixing them with old essences and coming up with something hopefully completely new, because we've been stuck in a meta for far too long when it comes to our PvE content and our PvP content. It's pretty much the same thing. Spin to win, does the most damage. It would be interesting to see if we can get anything to do with summons working with any of this. I would be surprised if it doesn't kind of work with some of this. But yeah, we'll have to wait and see. So the main hand, the last piece here, is called Blighted Crop. Critical hits with Bone Spirits trigger Soulfire Novas and deal additional damage. And this cannot occur more often than once every second. And subsequent damage from multiple Novas to the same enemy will be reduced by 50%. Well, if that enemy is already dead, it's not going to matter because they're already gone. So this sounds like it could be quite interesting to link this up with the new offhand. Because, yeah, why wouldn't you want to link it with the new offhand? You've got these Novas dealing, you've got the essences being drawn from the enemies, dealing all these bone spirits that are going to be zooming around you. This is going to be insane. I think these sound the most fun essences we've had in a very long time. So I don't know what you guys think, but that is all we've really got to discuss today. As more information comes, we may see more kind of essences, see videos for that. We will go through them as well. But for now, I want to leave that with your thoughts. Mention anything in the comments that you're interested in seeing when it comes to these essences. And if you think any of these seem far too OP, or maybe some of them don't seem enough. But yeah, I'd be interested to see your thoughts. As always, don't forget, like and subscribe to the channel, and we'll see you in the next one.